So today I want to tell you about one of my clutter coaching clients. I'm going to call her Angie. She's given me permission to tell her story, but I do want to give her a different name to keep her anonymity. And a couple of years ago, I was doing some live group coaching, clutter coaching programs, and she was in my program. And she and her partner were living in an apartment, and I had known them for a while, and they were wanting to declutter their apartment and move to some land. And Angie's dream was to be a beekeeper. And she was studying biodynamic beekeeping, and she was wanting to be a beekeeper and maybe work with a honeybee sanctuary. But she and her partner could not do that because they were stuck in their apartment because they couldn't declutter. And she had some challenges. She had ADHD, and her partner had some anxiety, and so just everything was like really compounded, and they just couldn't do it. And so she joined my group program, and the first day of the program, I did a little emotional clearing for the group and kind of getting them unblocked a little bit. And then I gave them an assignment, which was to declutter something in their bedroom. And I believe that the bedroom is kind of like your sanctuary in your home, and it should be your safe space. So when I do clutter coaching programs, a lot of times I tell people to start with the bedroom. So she decided that she was going to do that, and she started working on her bookshelf and just taking a few things off of her bookshelf in her apartment. So the next week we got back on the call, and it was really amazing because as we were going around and sharing our experiences, she said, well, I didn't get much decluttering done because I kept getting all these phone calls from people that there were bee swarms around town, and they wanted me to find homes for these bee swarms because they know I'm interested in beekeeping. And so I've been really busy going out and finding all these bees. And I found different friends who would be willing to have beehives in their backyards. And I got these swarms rehomed in these beehives in these backyards, and I'm going to be helping them take care of this stuff. And I thought that was just incredible because she had been so stuck for so many years, and she just uncluttered one shelf in her house, and her dreams started to come to her, right? And the really cool thing about that too was that she was flexible in saying yes to that dream. So she could have been like, well, I don't have the land and I don't have the bee sanctuary yet and I can't do it. But as people started to come to her and say, hey, we've got these bees, we want you to find homes for these bee swarms, she jumped into action, and the bees came to her where she was in the city where she was living, and she started working with the bees. And she went through the program, and we did some other things. And she was making progress, not a huge amount by the end of the program into 8 weeks, but um, about a year later, I saw her posting, and she's like, well, we finished decluttering our apartment and we've moved. We're going to be moving out. We've got some land, and there's this honeybee sanctuary that we're moving to, and I've been hired to work with this honeybee sanctuary, and we've got this little trailer, and we're gonna build a property here. And she now works with this honeybee sanctuary, and I love these stories from people because this whole thing about her stuff and her clutter and the heavy energy and the stuck energy in her home was blocking her from moving forward with her life. And all she needed to do was just open up that little bit of space, and it just got the ball rolling, and things started happening in her life, and her life totally changed. And I see this kind of thing happen over and over again with my clients. Once I'm able to help them get unstuck, and sometimes it's energetic, and sometimes it's emotional, and sometimes it's stuff, and sometimes it's a combination of all three. But I just love telling their stories because I love seeing the transformations in people's lives when they get the stuff out of the way that's blocking them from moving forward in their lives. And I wanted to share that story with you today.